You weren't supposed to find this today, but you did. There is a signal in the field right now, a soft frequency that rides between thought and sensation. Call it a nudge. Call it a blink in the dark. Science names a tiny organ at the center of your brain, the pineal gland. And mystics call it the third eye. Both point to the same thing, a gatekeeper of perception, a tuner of awareness. When that tuner shifts, the whole room of your consciousness quietly rearranges. Breathe with me. Slow. Inhale. Feel the cool air travel down. Exhale. Feel something uncoil behind your eyes. Not forceful, gentle. Notice the weight of your shoulders. Notice the space between your thoughts. This moment is the first instrument of activation. Presence is the antenna. You are already more than you think. You have been carrying subtle signposts, patterns, coincidences, dreams that won't let go, like breadcrumbs leading back to yourself. Most people scroll past. Most people say, "It's nothing," but not you. You felt that little charge. You felt the frequency. That's the universe tapping the window of your awareness. Imagine a tiny lamp finally finding its filament. Imagine a radio that has longed for a clear station and now picks up a voice. The pineal gland is not a mystical rumor. It is a biological doorway that responds to field and frequency. It is sensitive to light, to cycles, to intention. When it awakens, the world no longer sits in the exact same key. Color deepens. Insight arrives as a whisper. Dreams leak into waking life. You begin to notice signals, a repeated number, a scent that appears at precisely the right moment, a face that brings a flash of memory. These are not accidents. They are the universe sending a frequency that your inner eye can translate. Stay with this feeling. Let the body be the instrument that receives what the mind cannot yet frame. Allow curiosity to replace fear. Allow questions to be doors. You are not broken. You are tuning. There will be subtle shifts. You might feel pressure between your eyebrows. You might notice your dreams become vivid, like tapestries rewoven overnight. You might feel empathy surge without explanation. Or you might simply feel lighter, as if a small veil dissolved. These appearances are the markers of an activation. They announce that something inside you is moving toward higher vibration. This awakening is not about escaping reality. It is about coming home to it in a fuller register. The divine does not shout, it signals, a soft pulse, a gentle insistence. When you begin to answer, your field rearranges. Your day, your choices, your relationships, your understanding of pain and purpose, all begin to echo a new frequency. If you have been through suffering, know this. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it is calibration. The wounds you carried have refined your antenna. They sharpened the one who is listening now. You are one of the few who pause when the cosmos whispers. You are one of the few who feel the pull to wake. So breathe again. Place a hand lightly over your brow. Feel the coolness of the skin. Feel the heartbeat beneath. Let the word activation rest in you like a seed. No rush, no force, just attention. let awareness be the gardener. There is more to see. A small sign may appear to you in the next days. A light on the corner of your vision. An unbidden knowing. A dream that refuses to fade. When it appears, do not shrink. Receive it. Name it. Tend it. Take a breath. Stay here. This isn't just content. It's your activation point. Subtle signs your pineal gland is awakening. Have you ever noticed a small, inexplicable shift inside your head? Not loud, but undeniable. Like a bell that has finally been allowed to toll? It might begin as a whisper, a soft pressure between the brows, a warmth that feels less like heat and more like recognition. You find yourself pausing mid-thought because something in the room glows differently. Colors take on a deeper tone. Ordinary sounds seem to carry an extra layer, as if someone turned up the frequency of life by a fraction. These are not random glitches. They are the first language of an organ that has been waiting in quiet service, the pineal, telling you you are being tuned to a higher field. Dreams start to change. They arrive vivid, cinematic, and oddly instructive. Places you have never been feel intimately familiar. Faces in a dream deliver truths that press on your waking life, and you wake with the residue of meaning heavy on your palm. Scientists call it REM activity and pattern recognition. Mystics call it the opening of the third eye. Both point to the same mystery. The inner observer is widening its aperture. You may feel a strange sensitivity to light. Early mornings and late afternoons feel sacred, or a sudden aversion to fluorescent rooms and harsh screens. Your body, tired of static, seeks natural frequencies: sunlight, wind, running water. Appetite for shallow distraction dwindles. You notice synchronicities, the small coincidences that feel like breadcrumbs laid by the universe. Where once you walked past them, now you stop. You read the messages quietly addressed to you. There is a twist here that many do not expect. Awakening often comes dressed as dissonance. Old comforts fray. Relationships that once fit now feel tight. Grief, loneliness, even anxiety can arrive as the door cracks open. This is not punishment. It is a clearing. The pineal does not simply light a candle. It asks you to clean the room. What you thought was spiritual progress can sometimes look like unraveling. Hold that tenderness for yourself. Suffering can be a signpost, not a verdict. Practical moments of presence matter. When you feel that first pressure or that sudden clarity, slow your breath. Bring a soft attention to the place between your eyes and imagine listening rather than forcing sight. Drink clean water mindfully. Step into sunlight with bare skin for a few breaths. These small rituals translate internal frequency into lived experience. You are the witness here. Notice how your inner climate shifts when you read this. A small uplift, an itch of curiosity, a tightening that asks for release. These sensations are the universe's gentle fingerprint on your nervous system. They are not proof you are broken or special. They are proof you are waking. If the pineal is quietly stirring in you, what question would you ask this new awareness now that it has started to speak? Inner vision, dreams, light, and the quiet signs your pineal is awakened. A sudden flash of light pierces your inner vision. Not harsh, but like a carved whisper that wakes something behind your eyes. You feel its echo long after the image fades. A tiny bell in the skull that says, Notice. This is the language the universe uses when it taps the pineal gland. When frequency meets intention and the third eye stirs. You have been living in a field of habit, and now a different signal arrives. Dreams that taste like truth, waking images that feel laden with meaning, symbols repeating until you cannot ignore them. At first, they come as delicacies, a color, a recurring bird, a number, and you shrug. Then they gather like constellations, and the pattern becomes a map of your own inner geography. Pay attention. The visions are rude with tenderness. They will show you what you have buried and what you are being invited to reclaim. This awakening rarely looks like the movies. The twist is simple and sacred. Sometimes the sign is not an increase of sight, but a sudden, comforting blankness. The mind unclenching, a spaciousness where noise once lived. That quiet is a form of clairvoyance too. The universe is not only lighting symbols, it is clearing the space so you can finally perceive without commentary. Both light and silence are activations. You may notice physical echoes, pressure between the brows, a warmth at the center of the head, a strange taste of metal that arrives and leaves. These are not malfunctions. They are the body recalibrating to a new frequency. Neuroscience whispers that perception is an interplay of expectation and input. Ancient wisdom says the pineal is a gateway. Together, they suggest one thing: your consciousness is flexing toward a broader field. How to tend it? Start simply. When a dream lingers, write a line before morning memory dissolves. Give your visions a small altar, a page, a sketch, a single word. Ground afterward. Feel your feet. Drink cool water. Name 3 things in the room. Naming anchors the signal into daily life, so these gifts don't float as confusing signs, but become tools you can work with. Expect disorientation. As your awareness expands, old narratives will tremble. That discomfort is not punishment. It is proof the frequency is shifting. Love the awkwardness. Stay curious. Let each image be a teacher, each blankness a doorway. Tonight, when you close your eyes, what color will the bell ring in your inner sky? Synchronicities and the quiet fire. How the universe shows your pineal is stirring. A sudden flash of inner light, brief, lucid, like the memory of a sunrise, cuts through the usual fog, and you know, without words, that something has shifted. You are not imagining it. Small coincidences begin to pile up. A song lyric arrives as an answer. A stranger repeats the exact sentence you needed to hear. Numbers line up in uncanny ways. These are not random. They are the universe learning to speak your language again. And your pineal gland is the translator waking to its work. Feel this. The moments press gently, insistently, like a knock at the door of your attention. Your role is to open. Notice how the body changes first. There may be a tiny pressure between the brows, a soft warmth behind the eyes, or a taste of salt with no reason. Dreams become sharper, colors more saturated, messages clear and symbolic. You find yourself waking at precise hours, carrying the residue of an encounter with something vast. Emotional sensitivity increases. You feel collective pain and joy more immediately. These are not malfunctions. They are recalibrations. The field around you is tuning. Your frequency is shifting, closer to the signal of subtle knowing. Here is a quiet practice to honor that stirring. When a synchronicity touches you, stop. Inhale 3 slow breaths. Place a hand lightly on the center of your forehead. No force, simply presence. Name the moment aloud, even if only for yourself. I notice, I receive. Anchor this signal with a small object, a pebble, a seed, a coin, held now to the forehead for 10 seconds. This anchors the experience in body and brain. It teaches the inner circuitry that these moments are safe and meaningful. But listen to this twist. Awakening is not only about marvel. The same openings that let light in also let shadow move. You may feel unmoored, grieved, or dizzy as old stories unravel. That discomfort is not a sign of failure. It's the clearing that precedes a wider sight. Compassionate boundaries become part of spiritual hygiene. Say no to energy drains. Step back from repetitive drama and choose solitude as a laboratory for integration. Practical attunements matter. Fresh air, morning light on the face, soft gaze, not staring, and water to drink consciously throughout the day. Yet the deepest attunement is the felt decision to notice. When you answer the small signals by pausing, recognizing, anchoring, you create a feedback loop that deepens the awakening. So when symbols begin to accumulate and your inner world grows louder, remember to be patient and curious. The universe is not only nudging you awake, it is inviting you to become fluent in its language. What will you say back when the silence asks for your reply? You made it this far, and that alone is a sacred act. Thank you for choosing to stay awake with these words. In a world full of noise and easy distractions, your attention is the most loyal prayer. You came here carrying questions, scars, hope, and a quiet hunger to remember something true. That hunger is being answered. Right now, celebrate the small, fierce courage it took to listen. Feel the warmth of your own attention, like a candle held steady against wind. That steady flame is how the universe recognizes readiness. Whether you felt a spark, a chill behind the eyes, a sudden clarity, or simply the comfort of being seen, each is a sign that your inner sensing is waking. You are not broken, you are unfurling. If what you heard resonated, put a simple mark in the space below. Drop a yes in the comments if this touched your field, or share a single word that describes how you felt. Your voice matters. Others here will read it and remember they are not alone. Tell us one small truth you want to uncover next. It helps shape what we explore together. Community is not just followers or views. It's a living web of seekers whose lights reflect and strengthen one another. When you share, you become a lighthouse for someone else. Remember this: awakening is not a race or a checklist. It is a rearrangement of intimacy between you and your body, you and the unseen currents that move through life, you and the vast, quiet mind beneath thought. Treat your process with kindness. If your pineal is responding, if images flash, if dreams deepen, if compassion expands, know that these are invitations, not demands. The universe whispers, it rarely yells. Respond with curiosity, not force. Here are 3 simple ways to honor what surfaced tonight. Keep a tiny journal by your bed and write 1 line of dream or insight each morning. When you feel overwhelmed, place 1 hand over your sternum and listen to your breath for 30 slow counts. Once a week, share a truth in this space, a sentence, a prayer, a fragment of your inner weather. These are small practices, but they anchor a field. They let the shift become habitual without urgency. You belong to a lineage of seekers who learn to trust inner signals, the ones who noticed a shift in light, a new tone in sound, an intuitive nudge that changed the course of a life. We carry the same work, to awaken, to heal, and to hold one another as we rise. If this channel has been a doorway for you tonight, consider subscribing and ringing the bell, not as a transaction, but as a promise to yourself to keep listening. Leave a yes if you felt this. Share a word, ask a question, hold space for someone else by replying to a comment. We are co-creators of a field that stretches beyond any single screen. Keep shining your light. Remain present, breathe, and absorb this energy in gratitude.